It's SummerSlam week, kids, which means all week long, tune in right here for your match by match breakdowns. And today we start with part one. Let's get into the ladies. We're going to break down their matches at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn and as well at SummerSlam right here on Dead on Dave Productions. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Dead on Dave. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, it is the week of SummerSlam. Oh, and not just SummerSlam, it's also NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Maybe the most important event in the history of the WWE in this regard, because this is going to dictate just how bright the future can be. Is NXT solely just developmental, or is it its own standalone brand? Is there room for it to be both? We're going to find out so much this week. It's going to be so exciting. We got SummerSlam Access we're going to cover. We've got all of these great things that are happening. Of course, it all starts tonight, Monday Night Raw. You can watch the review directly after Raw on the Joe Cronin Show with me, Joe Cronin, and of course, Jesse J. As well as directly after that, come back here to Dead on Dave Productions and watch my Raw review, and you never know who's going to show up there. So very exciting stuff happening. Going to be great. But here, right now, let's break down the two women's or Divas matches that we are going to get at both of the events. That's SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Let's start with the Saturday show in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. 13,000 people are going to be there to see one of the marquee events, one of the marquee matches in that event, I should say, is Sasha Banks defending her NXT Championship against Bayley in what should be a great match. Look, they built Bayley to be the next Super Diva, Superwoman's champion down there. They did it a little more on the nose than they did with Sasha when she took it from Charlotte, and when Charlotte won it. It's a little more on the nose. She's had, since she came back from her injury, it's been meteoric. You know, it's been straight to the thing. Before she got hurt, she was in this feud with friggin' Emma and all that stuff. But since she's returned from her injury, because of the upcoming exodus by Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte, Bayley has had a rocket right up her patootie patootie. Yes, we're saying patootie here on Dead on Dave Productions because we're talking about Bayley. And if she does, she probably has a patootie. And it's probably cutie patootie. 32 years old, see? She's had a rocket up there. And in really a short amount of time, in the last 4 weeks, she's become, this story has just really taken hold, and she's beaten Becky, she's beaten Charlotte, and now she's taken on Sasha Banks. Most people are expecting Bayley to win this match because Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky are all leaving for greener pastures. It's going to be very interesting to see how this is done. They don't necessarily have to take the belt off of Sasha, especially if they're going to continue this thing where she's not the key member of Team Bad. So maybe this match is not as cut and dry as we may have thought it was. Logic dictates, like traditional wrestling booking dictates, that Bayley's going to win this. Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky are all going away, and Bayley's going to be ushering in a new era. But what if it's not that way? You look at Team Bad. Fucking Tamina, Naomi, and Sasha. Yay! And who's really been the most focused? It hasn't been Sasha. Now, the one thing that can counter that is the fan reaction. Because on Monday last week, it really seemed like Sasha was starting to... she was getting huge chants. And I think that's indicative of how people want to see Sasha. Maybe she's not as unknown to the wrestling audience as some people might have thought she was going to be. because it seems like she's really starting to get over, and that's with limited exposure on the WWE product. So it's very possible that she is going to really start becoming a more big fixture within the WWE main roster. I think we're going to see that at SummerSlam. I'm expecting the final two competitors to be Charlotte and Sasha. Let them really go. I would love to see the WWE have those two be the last two competitors in this elimination match, and we'll talk about that in a minute to really highlight. We'll talk about that in a second. But back to the championship match between Sasha and Bayley. It could be as easy as Bayley winning, but Sasha maintaining her NXT championship so she can continue to say this, I'm the NXT champion of Team Bad, makes a lot of sense. And they could even use that as a story-driven narrative at some point. Let's say if they want to break up Team Bad, because I don't see all three of these teams staying together all that long. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to continue to keep them together, because ultimately in the end, if they want titles, they're going to have to fight each other. You know, look at PCB, Paige, Charlotte, and Becky. All three of them girls are going to be legitimate title contenders. So, you know, you got to make that happen, and they're going to have to fight each other. So it's going to be interesting to see how they decide to do that long term. So really having Sasha still have the title for that purpose is relatively smart. Now, at the same time, you can always have her, you know, really start bringing that belt to shows and holding it up in the face of the Divas Championship to create another storyline. There's all kinds of things that they can do with Sasha, if she continues to hold the belt. I just don't know if that's the way they want to go, because if they do that, how much is it affecting all the other girls on NXT? So it's going to be quite interesting to see where they go. Prediction, it's going to be Bayley. I just think they're going to go the traditional route. They're not going to try and rock the boat too much, because the writing, and you don't want to have too much crossover between the two brands. Because if Charlotte has to be, or God damn it, if Sasha has to be protected as champion, as NXT champion, but she has to be protected on WWE to not look weak, you know, it just, there's too much variance there, and it could really be ugly and hinder Sasha's growth. So Bayley, I think, is going to walk out as champion. That's going to start a new chapter within NXT women's wrestling. So we'll see what happens. As far as the SummerSlam match, I'm so excited for this match. It's all 9 of these women in an elimination match. Now, I believe it's not just for teams. I believe it's last woman standing, you know, the 3 teams. And then hopefully that's the case. I hope it's not. I think it is teams, now that I think about it. As long as the last 2 women are Charlotte and Sasha, even Becky and Sasha, but I really want to see Charlotte and Sasha. That will be awesome. The WWE will probably do that, because having those two have 5 minutes at the end of the night with just those 2 would be huge. They will tear. All they need is 5 minutes. At the end of a good 10, 15-minute match, all they need is 5 minutes to really showcase what they can do. And they are going to hook that audience, man. That's all anyone's going to be talking about. Could they do the same with Becky? Yes, they could, and they could probably do the same thing with Paige, as long as Sasha is on the other end of that equation. To this point, they seem to want to continue to get the other girls involved, and it's had mixed results at best. I'm not huge on this whole idea behind Naomi getting chance after chance. I mean, it seems like a lot of people are starting to tire of her botchmania tactics. It's just, she can get... My problem with Naomi is the same as always. It's consistency. She's not consistent. Inconsistent is probably the proper word, but that's what she is, and it's unfortunate, because I do like her a lot. I think she's got a lot to give, and I like Naomi. It's just, it drives me crazy when some of her still, after all this time being as green as she is, really does take away from things. Speaking of confusing and inconsistent, how about the poster? The poster for this match, and you can see it right here. There. You got Team PCB with Paige out in front. Makes total sense. Okay. Any of those 3 could be in front, but Paige makes sense. She's the veteran. You got the Bella Army with the champion, Nikki Bella out in front. That makes sense. And then you have Team Bad with Tamina out in front, indicating that she's the leader of that group. This makes no sense. What does that mean? Tamina is by far not only the worst in that group, she's the worst of all 9 of these individuals, and she's only there because of the tie-in that they had with the story between her and Naomi. She really lucked into this. She really did. And now we have to deal with her on this friggin' poster. And I know maybe I'm making a big deal over a poster, but it's driving me nuts. And it's no offense to Tamina. It's just when she gets in there with these other girls, she's always exposed, man. She is absolutely exposed. And it's unfortunate, but it's just a reality. She's just not on that level. I think Tamina needs to go to NXT, personally. That might seem harsh, but that's just the way I look at it. This match is going to be great, though. I'm looking really, really forward to this thing. I want to see a great match. All the matchups we're going to be able to see. Basically, Sasha with every other woman in this match is something I really want to see. But Paige, I want to see what she does with certain people. I never mind her with Nikki Bella, so that'll be fun to see that matchup. How are they going to do it? Are they going to have all 3 members in at the same time? So is it going to be a constant triple threat? I mean, how's it going to work? That's what we're going to have to find out. It's going to be quite exciting. So these 2 matches, Sasha defending her NXT Championship against Bayley, and of course, all 9 women in the elimination style match at SummerSlam. I'm super excited for both. If I have to pick a winner, I think Charlotte is going to win the night. Don't count out Sasha as the dark horse, though. I think Sasha, epic burp, inside burp, actually, not epic. Inside burp, I almost imploded. Sasha has a very good chance to win the night as well. I think either one of them is a great way to go. If it's the Bella's shit again, I think people are going to lose their minds. You got to have strong finishes tonight. I think this SummerSlam, the way they've built it, it's too important to go with easy booking. You've got to take a few chances. You've got to go bold, and you've got to go big. And bold doesn't always mean having like the weakest person or the least obvious person. Like, if they want to be bold, you'd have Tamina win it. It'd be insulting, but you could do it. People would hate it, but you could do it. You can take a gun to your head. It's stupid, but you could do it. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I'm excited for it. Let me know what you guys think of these 2 matches in the comment section below. Who you got, who's winning, who's walking out with the title at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, and who is winning the 9-woman match at SummerSlam. Let me know all that in the comment section below. Thank you guys for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you check out everything within the community. Tonight, directly after Raw, Joe Cronin, myself, probably Jesse, who knows who else, Monday Night Raw review, Joe Cronin Show. Make sure you check that out. Directly after that, come back here for my review. Like, subscribe, and share. Likes are free, but you know what's not free? The copious merchandise, which you can get on www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. Copious amounts of copious merchandise for your buying pleasure. Make sure you go check that out. And also, if you want to donate to the channel, you can do so right in the description box below. Boom, hit the link, and you can give the fat man a tip. Say, "Fat man, you're doing a great job. Here's a tip." Thank you guys for subscribing, supporting, and being an integral part of this channel. You guys are awesome. We will see you a little bit later on. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Make sure you're checking everything out. We'll see you later. And if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Peace.
Greetings and salutations, Dave, or I guess technically I should call you Dead on Dave. This is Christopher Daniels.
Hey everyone, it's the Native American Tatanka. Want to give a big shout out to Dad on Dave.
Dave,
This is Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Dead on Dave. What's up, man? It's the coach.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it. Dead on Productions. Yeah.